Hail and Mage's Kingdom! If you're following my Hunter's build, then it's time to get rid of our awesome uniques. Yeah, they're still viable and you can basically clear all the content with this stuff, but we need to prepare for next transition into Ultimate God, and to do it we will craft gear today. So that's the video where I show how I craft godlike gear. I will cover probably like all slots. We will do ring, body armor, helmets, boots, gloves and weapons, of course. Yeah, weapons is also insane and useful parts of any build. And we will start with this basic weapon. It's not basic, it's exceptional weapon actually, and it got 2 slots initially. So if you got weapon like this, you can create weapon for our second slot with insane attack speed. Yeah, I got 3 runes that gives me skill speed inside, and it's just insanely powerful stuff. But to make this weapon even more OP, we need to have extra attack speed, and that's basically how every craft works. You start with white base and you need to make it blue. To do it, we're using basic orbs. And to have better result, you want to use greater orbs, of course, or even perfect. And that's how I do my crafts. Basically, I collect bunch of white items, I drop orbs on top while I'm mapping, and I'm taking good ones with me. So let's drop it and we get added physical damage. That's pretty good. After we get good blue weapon, we need to use essence. That's the first part of any craft. And while I could use another blue orb, I want to use essence first, because that's how crafting works. I will use PoE to DB. Today it's database for all the stuff, and I'm in modifiers section on spears. So whenever you have any mod, like for example increased attack speed, it will block other mods with attack speed. So for example, if I got critical hit chance on my weapon, then I won't be able to roll increased critical hit chance in desecrated modifiers. Therefore, if I drop another orb of augmentation transmutation on top, I will get my suffix, and the suffix can be attack speed, but it will be a really low attack speed. Instead, I'm dropping essence of attack speed on top and getting my 25% increased attack speed. Now there's loads of options how we can continue this craft, but for this weapon specifically, we don't care. We can just YOLO drop bunch of exalted orbs, and we don't even need our quality, because this weapon is basically just for one random attempt to vial orb, and if it hits, we will get 3 sockets. It will be a really good weapon. Right now it missed, so I got 2 sockets, therefore it will be less attack speed than my current weapon, and it's gone. That was attack speed weapon for second slot and basics of crafting. But now let's move to another sockets before we jump into weapons. Weapons is really complex topic. Let's start with something easier, like our armor. So when you're looking for armor, you're looking for armors with either good increased evasion rating, basically flat stat. It can be increased armor and evasion rating if it's armor and evasion rating armor, but we're looking for dexterity armors for this build right now. And main goal is to fix our defenses so we can survive this mid game. Since I'm playing stat stacker, there's not a lot of resistance on my armors, and therefore I forced to use runes in my gloves, in my boots, to add resistances, so it's pretty hard. But we can easily fix our resistances with good body armor. So body armors crafted like this. If you have increased evasion rating, so increased stat, then there is only one option. You just need to pick another resistance. And with runes, you can pick any resistance you like. So if you need a little bit of chaos resistance, it's totally possible. You can get up to 19% chaos resistant. And you can roll tier 3 resistances of fire, cold and lightning, which is also pretty good. So for example, this one got lightning resistance, but also I need a little bit of cold. Therefore, I will drop cold resistance essence. And tada, we get double resistance and increased evasion rating. And that's why armors is so simple this season. Technically, there is nothing left for us to do. We just YOLO slamming exalted orbs and desecrating if needed. I will go into modifiers section, into body armor's dexterity, and I'll check what I can desecrate. Is there anything I can have use of? And there's bunch of mixed resistances with elemental and chaos resistance at the same time. I think it's really good and can really help me. At the same time, every weapon, every item will have up to 3 prefixes and up to 3 suffixes. And if I use Rip right now, which will desecrate item, this desecration can pick pre-slot. So right now it will be completely random. I can fix it by picking correct omens. For example, omen of sinistral necromancy. that will force it to go into prefix or textual necromancy. That will force rip go into suffix. That's what I want. At the same time, there is optional stuff, which is also sinistral and dextral omens, but they will affect where exalted orbs will go. So before you attempt any step when you're crafting, try to check prices what is best for you. We will be using greater exalted orbs, that goes for like 5 exalted orbs right now, but we can use omen of greater exaltation and it will force to trigger 1 exalted orb as 2 exalted orbs. And right now it's cheaper to use omen than 2 greater exalted orbs. If you feel like your piece of equipment getting really good, you can even use perfect exalted orbs. And what's the difference? The difference is minimum modifier level. It's 35 right now on greater exalted orb and 50 on perfect. Every modificator will roll modificator inside. So greater exalted orb will cut these mods. It will never roll them. But perfect will cut only this mod. Is it worth it? 300 exalts? I would say no. Still it's pretty random and still you can roll something like torrents damage. Therefore, the most optimal strategy for your armor pieces is to pick 1 more resistance in addition to your initial resistance, and then in current rates, first of all we will desecrate suffix, so it will be green, and then we will use greater exaltation with double exalt. So we hit tier 5 2 evasion rating and tier 1 mixed evasion rating. It's already not bad. This armor without quality got better stats than armor that is on me. So we will add quality, we will get 2 sockets, and we will add iron runes. This armor right now have 2200 evasion rating, which is already around 1 divine orb in price. But that's because we haven't visited Well of Souls yet, and that's what I will do right now. When you're dropping your item into Well of Souls, you also can use another open that will give you ability to reroll next option. However, again, it costs a little bit, like 100 exalted orbs, and if this armor was tier 1, tier 2, tier 1, something like this, like all mods was tier 1 and tier 1 is the best mods, I would use it. But right now it's not like perfect, so we won't use it. We will get our insanely low fire resistance and get back our armor. It's not perfect, not that bad though. I will sell it for 30 chaos orbs. And that's why I like to craft in batches this season. I'm getting like multiple items and then crafting them. Yes, you can craft 1 single item, but you will need to invest loads of currency to make it really perfect. These crafts are super easy, cheap, and you just do it every now and then, and you hit your items eventually. So let's talk about helmets right now. Helmets can start with different modifiers. What you can look for is dependent on what your current build actually have. If you have not enough resistances, it will be again the same stuff. It will be increased and resistance. If you have enough resistances, maybe you got some like miracle rings, maybe you get some insane like belt, not headhunters that gives basically 0 resistance. Then you can go with different strategy. Deflection rating is really big stuff for our build, and having helmet with really nice deflection rating is pretty cool. Another option is critical hit chance. Critical hit chance is also awesome, especially if we're going for damage. Now, I will show different strategies for these helmets. Basically, we will start with different essences. For example, if we got resistance, it will be kinda the same craft as we did with body armor. So we will add resistance first, and I really need this fire resistance. Now this helmet is kinda done. But if you start with a 2 evasion rating, it's not increased, it's 2, it's basic bonus. And you don't need extra resistances, you don't need to make sure you got these resistances. And you, for example, opting in for deflection rating, critical hit chance, something like this, you can actually use another essence, and it will roll tier 3 increased. So this is essence of enhancement. This will roll increased evasion rating tier 3, which is not bad. As you can see, everything is randomized this season, especially on top, so having tier 1, 2 and tier 3 increased is really nice. We will do the same for this helmet with critical hit chance if we would have this 2 evasion, but here we get increased. Therefore, with increased, again, we get only 1 out. We're getting only resistance. Okay, we hit resistance. Now, what is the next step? It's the same step as before. We got only option to add desecration, and again, this desecration can go on bottom or on top. On bottom, we can hit extra chaos and extra resistance. On top, we can roll something good, like tier 1 added evasion rating and increased evasion rating, which will be just insane on the helmet. So for this helmet, we will try to do exactly this. we will try to desecrate Prefix by using Omen of Sinistral Necromancy and Preserved Rip. On this with double resistance we will try to hit our third resistance, and on helmet with critical hit chance and fire resistance we will just YOLO slam Greater Exalted Orb. We will see where we'll land, and we'll land it on increased deflection rating, which is tier 1, pretty good, and 2 maximum mana, which is just very bad mod. That's good example. So what to do in this situation? Yes, we can desecrate right now, but if I desecrate right now, it will just fix. This desecration will go into free slot in Prefix, because there's 2 slots right now filled. What I will do instead? I will slam one Greater Exalted Orb. We will see where we land. We landed on accuracy rating, and accuracy for my build is a lot better because I'm playing Huntress, Amazon Huntress. She's getting bonuses from accuracy, and now I will use Prefix Sinistral Necromancy Omen with Preserved Rip to remove one of these bonuses. Yes, we got pretty good helmet. It's actually like really good, but we need to remove maximum mana or accuracy rating, because right now, even though it is listed for 50 exalted orbs, I doubt anyone will buy it. But if we keep increased evasion rating and we will remove one of the modifiers, this trick will work. And we removed accuracy, that's fine. Now we're filling these 2 helmets, and let's go reveal them. Let's start with this one, and we hit increased evasion rating and maximum mana. Increased evasion rating is again a lot better, so we can hit something high. Let's reveal this one. I guess maximum life will work, not perfect. And basically that's how it works. You try to reveal and hit something good. This one hit gain deflection rating. Again, these helmets kinda missed my perfect stats that I'm looking for, but they're pretty good, so we will list them and move to our next item. So, boots. If you're following my build, you don't need boots, but maybe you decided to get rid of the secured leggings, maybe you decided to adjust build a little bit and use basic boots. For boots again, it's pretty simple. Besides, there's another option. If you got insanely good boot, but they got no movement speed, you can get Essence of Hysteria. It costs a little bit less than 1 Divine Orb, and it will guarantee to have movement speed. It's a perfect essence, so it will remove one of the prefix modifiers. But here I got boots with added resistance and rarity of items. So we will craft them with added lightning resistance by adding essence, and all of them got movement speed. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Basically, I'm collecting boots with movement speed, and then I'm crafting them if needed, if they anything good. Then we're dropping double exalted orbs, checking what we rolled for, and if it's anything good, then we can continue craft basically. I would say I will just YOLO exalt and see what's going on. Mostly missed, but it is what it is. Now the last armor slot, gloves. Gloves are pretty simple, again, will work exactly the same. Besides the fact that on gloves you're looking for added damage to your attacks. You don't care about evasion, energy shield and other ratings, they won't give you really good benefits. You mostly care about top part. Therefore, you want to start with 2 good mods that will be useful. For example, these gloves got high accuracy rating and fire resistance. It's super good for me. First step will be again to add lightning resistance, and here we are, double resistance. I will use Sinistral Necromancy with Preserved Rip to try and desecrate prefix. Yes, we can try desecrate suffix, and we can roll a lot of funny stuff, even chance to daze on hit, increase immobilization build-up, and other pretty useful stuff. Still, double resistance is pretty good, but this Preserved Rip on prefix will give us ability to roll added damage, and of high tier pretty much. So we will do exactly this, same on these gloves. And now, before slamming exalted orbs, we will first of all identify what we got. Since right now we haven't invested deep into this craft, and now we got a choice, fire damage to attacks or accuracy rating. Accuracy is also great as I told you, but I will go with fire damage to attacks, and it's tier 2, so pretty good. Now let's reveal this one, and sadly this got no damage to attacks. We will pick evasion rating. Still, it's not that bad. It's tier 1 evasion rating, so at least this is powerful gloves. And finishing this craft with Omen for double exalted orb and greater exalt, and let's see what we hit. So this one hit for second resistance and accuracy rating tier 5. This one hit for mana per enemy killed and 2 maximum life tier 3. This gloves with deflection with added fire damage with accuracy maximum life is actually good choice for me and for my transformation into the second form. Also, it's tier 1 maximum life, which will increase our effective hit pool, and that's what we kinda want. So I will keep this. Second gloves will go on sale. And we're going to the next pretty hard stuff. It is a ring, and you know what, let's actually use a ring as the last part of this video. Let's jump to the most funny part, it's weapons. So for weapons we will craft spears, and we will start crafting from a blue base. For this build I'm looking for flying spears and Akoyan spears. Now here's a fun part. What you're looking for in your spears. For example, this spear got increased physical damage tier 1, and this spear is kinda sold for a few divine orbs right now. Yes, increased physical damage is super good, but exactly for Huntress you don't want to use this increased physical damage as your first mod. Let's switch this spear with our legendary spear right now, and let's see DPS, let's say on Twister and Glacial Land. We got 48.5 over here and 39.7 in Twist. What is the real secret to get loads of damage is actually accuracy. Accuracy rating is just too good. So if I just switch this weapon for accuracy weapon, it actually instantly raising my damage to like 60k. Funny part that 60k is my damage right now with legendary spear. Yeah, it bifurcates our critical strikes. It kinda better than this. But as you can see, just weapon with accuracy and critical damage bonus is already kind of the same DPS. And that's how I make my bases. As I told you, I'm collecting them, I'm checking item level. If item level is high, like 81, 82, I drop perfect orb of transmutation augmentation. This one hit reduced attribute requirements on bottom part. Maybe someone making build with the spear, we will let them do it for 35 KS orbs, for less than divine. Another example, here we get the same spear, increased physical damage over here and accuracy over here. So if I get accuracy, we instantly getting plus like 10% damage pretty easily. This means increased physical damage is not a good option for our build, but why I'm looking for flying spears? That's because they got increased projectile speed with this weapon. Projectile speed also will affect damage that we output with twisters, and it's not calculated in tooltip. It's really important. So increases and reductions to projectile speed also apply to projectile damage, and as you can see, if I remove this, it's barely increasing our damage. So yeah, it's increasing damage, but not too much. Still, we need this projectile speed, and it's fine. But actually, the best base for us is Akoyan Spear. Akoyan Spear will have a highest base critical hit chance, and for this build we really like increased critical hit chance. Added lightning damage is also fine. It will give you like nice amount of extra damage, and that's our perfect starting basis with weapon. Even if it's just added physical damage and increased critical hit chance, Akoyan Spear will start to cost like 2 divine orbs per this base. That's why I make them myself. T1 physical, by the way, adds a little bit, because yeah, it's really a good base. We will definitely work on this one. But I like to show you cheap crafts that you can easily do yourself, and something like this can be bought for like 2 exalted orbs, like 15. Yeah, pretty cheaply, you can snipe it pretty cheaply. And that's a really easy base to work on. So, as always, it starts with essence. And there's different approaches. For weapon, you can add different elemental damage, fire, cold, lightning, or add physical damage. Also, we can add attack speed, but for our build, we don't want this attack speed, so it's a useless bonus. And as I told you, critical hit chance is really good, and having like almost 5% critical hit chance is just insanely good. Still, we can hit something like critical hit chance 3.8, just like 1% less, with essence. That's why starting with critical damage bonus is so good. We're scaling with critical hits, so dropping critical hit chance on this kind of weapon is pretty cool. I got basically the same weapons all over the place. It's accuracy rating and critical hit damage, and also this one with added physical damage. And I'm doing it just to show you the difference. So we will craft all of them, and of course we will compare damage. So this one with critical hit chance right now, giving us 70k on Twister and 90k on Glacial Lens. Let's check our critical hit chance. So it is right now 36% for Twister. Pretty good. Without this 3.6%, it's 24. Yeah, it's just so low. And if we take this almost 5%, it's 40%. 40 is pretty good, but 4% less is not a big deal. Why we gaining like 10% increased critical hit chance? even more. Even though we get this critical hit chance only 3%. It's because it's 2 critical hit chance. It giving you more critical hit chance on your weapon, and then it's multiplied by our passive tree and other abilities. So by having initial value higher, it's a lot better than just increasing it slowly. For these two guys, let's compare physical damage and added elemental damage. We will add physical damage over here, and we will add like lightning damage over here. We always roll tier 4 lightning, so it's not really high, but tier 3 physical. So physical in terms of rolls is a little bit higher, but what will give us better damage? So physical will give us 52k on Twister, 66k on Glacial Lens, and lightning, as you can see, gives us a lot better damage. That's because it's just overall better damage. So added physical damage is good, but it's not that good if it's not multiplied by increased physical. So having increased physical damage, added physical damage, like high added physical damage, and also high accuracy will help tremendously. But we already learned that accuracy is a lot better than any added damage. And that's basically how we will finish our crafts. These two guys will be my main crafts right now, so let's work on them. We get added physical damage and 2 critical hit chance. It's insanely powerful stuff, and I will have a lot of benefit by adding accuracy rune on top. Essence. This essence can roll up to 346 accuracy, and I hope it rolls something good. It rolled something very bad, but we're not really disappointed if craft will come out really good. I will just drop a bunch of divine orbs on top to reroll this accuracy rating. Anyway, this spear right now is just a top of the world. There's nothing even close to this right now. And for spear with accuracy and critical damage bonus, we will add critical hit chance, because we need this critical hit chance. Now the spear with critical hit chance got a lot better damage again. It actually beating our accuracy weapon. That's why high accuracy is the key still. Anyway, we're approaching our next step, and next step can give us insane craft or completely break the craft. So next step, if you're doing just basic craft, will basically look the same as on armors. You're using your greater exalted orbs with omens if you need, but we can add extra omens. There's omens of black-blooded, sovereign, and leech. These omens will guarantee you Ulaman, Kurgal, or Amanamu modifiers. And these modifiers can be seen over here. So we see that modifiers with Amanamu will roll these bonuses in prefixes and these bonuses in suffixes. And yeah, you can basically force them. If you got only like few options of these modifiers, then basically it's guaranteed. And it's only available for weapons and also for jewelry. So I made kinda templates for my weapons, and that's what we got over here. We already have these bonuses, critical hit chance and critical damage bonus and accuracy rating. What I want to have is added damage of different kind. It's really big and powerful bonus for our weapons. Also I want to have level 2 all attack skills in the bottom part. Let's work on this weapon. So to do it, first of all we need to desecrate somewhere, because if you don't want to YOLO Exalt Slam on the next step, we need to use our Perfect Essences. And Perfect Essences will remove one modifier to guarantee another modifier. Here's the trick. We can actually lock one modifier, and then we will be able to force Essence to remove only prefix or only suffix, because all the mods right now is really important for us. The trick right now is to determine where we want to remove stuff. And the cheapest craft actually is to remove from prefix. It's a lot less common to remove something from prefix, therefore we're going for this craft. And therefore we need to actually use preserved Jobon to desecrate weapon. And we need to pick what type of desecration we want, and I want Ulaman modifier to deal more damage with projectiles. Technically I can use it without Ulaman modifier modificator, but this can roll into anything bad, unlike our deterministic craft right now. I will activate Omen of Sovereign, followed by Omen of Sinister Necromancy to desecrate prefix, and I will desecrate this weapon. Pow! So we got 4 modificators, one of them is green. But instead of revealing it right now, we will use Fracturing Orb. Fracturing Orb can be found in cleansed areas. After you cleanse corruption, there will be cleansed areas and you can drop it over there. This orb costs a lot, so yeah, it's like Divine Orb right now. And right now we got 33% chance to lock accuracy rating and 66% chance to roll something from bottom part. If I roll anything from the bottom part, it's kinda got 0 effect on our craft, and we will just YOLO Exalt Slam probably. But if it will lock accuracy rating, then we can pretty much deterministically finish this craft and get insane weapon. So let's try to use Fracturing Orb right now, and we locked critical damage bonus. So it is what it is. Luckily, I got one more similar spear to try once again. Let's do it. It's Ulaman in prefix, and boom, we got it. And one more Fracturing Orb. Let's hope we roll accuracy. No, it's critical hit chance right now. It is what it is. Not lucky once again. What to do if we're lucky? So if you will try to do the same craft and you're lucky, then we go into a ritual and we're looking for Sinistral Crystallization Omens. They cost right now half of Divine, and this Omens is a lot cheaper than Dextral Omens. They will force your Greater Essence, Perfect Essence, to remove modifiers from prefix. And if accuracy is locked, basically use this exact Omen to remove one of the prefixes, and if accuracy is locked, it will remove green prefix and add level to all attack skills to the bottom part of this weapon. And basically finish the craft by using these omens and adding level to all attack skills. It will eat our green modifier, it will drop level to attack skills on bottom, then you add one Exalted Orb and do the same trick, but now with Essence of Lightning or Ice to add extra damage as cold damage, and then basically you finish with Desecration of Ulaman modifier. So that's it. That's basically how we craft the weapon. But right now we are in a tricky situation and we need to do something. What we will do? Basically we will try to improve our odds as much as possible. So technically you need to think like this. Right now we got accuracy ratings that we want to keep, and one mod that we don't care about, but we can reapply it later. Still, we need to get our level to all attack skills with Perfect Essence of Battle. So if I use Sinistral Crystallization right now and will force this essence to remove one of the prefixes, it have 50% chance to remove accuracy rating and 50% chance to remove Desecrated modifier, since we get only 2 mods. Therefore, we need to lower our chances to remove our preferred modifier. To do it, we will use Omen of Sinistral Exaltation to add Exalted Orb into prefix, and we will have 3 prefixes from now on. So right now, when I use Perfect Essence of Battle with Omen of Sinistral Crystallization, it will remove either lightning damage, accuracy rating, or this Desecrated modifier. Same goes for my second spear, it will either remove elemental damage or Desecrated modifier and I will be lucky, or accuracy rating and I will be unlucky. So we failed 2 Fracturing Orbs. Let's see, will we fail Essence of Battle on this weapon? And now we get our accuracy and we got level 2 all attack skills. Luckily we have one really good quota stuff. I mean spear, of course. Omens are 150 Exalted Orbs right now, so let's quickly get them. And let's try to do the same trick on this weapon. Let's hope we will remove this increased elemental damage with attacks. Actually, we don't care about it, we can even keep it. So, boom! And we removed accuracy. Okay, what to do when we removed accuracy? It will be tricky, but first of all, let's finish this craft. So look, this weapon got perfect suffixes and technically perfect prefixes. The only one problem that we would gladly get in prefix something like gain damage as extra damage of different elemental kind or even extra physical damage, but we need to decide right now. Can we actually afford it? Is this actually a thing? And you know what? I will show you what I mean on this weapon instead. So, if I use this Omen again and I use Essence that will add me extra damage of different damage kind, for example Perfect Essence of Ice, we get 50% chance to remove elemental damage with attacks, 50% chance to remove Desecrated modifier. And it will work exactly the same over here. If we remove Desecrated modifier, this weapon is just godlike. It's mirror tier insane spear. If it removes accuracy rating, it is kinda bricked, but not bricked completely, because accuracy rating rolls all the time. I mean, it's most common roll, and for all other classes you just cry when you roll accuracy. However, for this class you actually enjoy when you roll accuracy, and with Perfect Exalted Orb you get a really high chance to roll high accuracy. So technically we can do a little bit of gamba and try to hit 50-50 added physical like damage over here, or lightning, or cold, I don't know, whatever, and hope we not remove accuracy. But first of all, let's start with this weapon, since I don't care a lot. I want to get Essence of Ice, since we got damage, elemental damage with attacks. It makes sense. And we kept our elemental damage with attacks, and we gained extra damage as extra cold damage. So this one is pretty good. And if we keep this accuracy over here, we just golden and we removed it, as always. So we get one free prefix on this weapon, we will add to Laman modifier. Or do we? As I told you, we get insanely high chance to roll accuracy with perfect exalted orb. And we will try to do exactly this right now. Over here, and it's lightning damage, and over here it's lightning damage. I don't know what's going on today, but it's most unlucky crafts we got this leak. But it is what it is. Funnily enough, for this weapon we can actually try to desecrate, and we will have 33% chance to hit desecration in prefix instead of lightning damage, and it will be like better weapon. But we will reveal. We'll have projectile deal increased damage, and that's it. And basically you just witnessed pretty high cost crafts, because this essences, omens, all the stuff cost like 3-4 divine orbs. And again, it's pretty high chance to break item. It's only 30% chance to actually finish craft constantly. But there's a way how you can finish craft pretty cheaply. So first part with the base and with essence cost basically nothing. So we can finish it by just slamming exalted orbs on top and hope for something good. This is bad over here, but this one is kinda also not super cool. Still, funnily enough, you can slam Essence of Battle right now, and when item is fully stacked, Essence of Battle without any omen will go into suffix, and basically you will have 60% chance to remove one of the useless suffixes, and this will be insanely cheap craft for less than like 100 exalted orbs. In the end you will land on something like this, so let's see our damage, 70k over here, 57 over here, and this one gives us 80% damage, so yeah. This one got accuracy, lightning damage, and increased elemental damage with attacks. So 80k on Glacial Lance, 62k on Twister, without level to all skills. So these crafts that cost me a lot, actually in the end hits for 85k, and this one for 90k, just slightly better, and they cost like 2-3 divines more, unlike this craft, which was completely free almost. And again, we can finish it with pretty funny finish. Basically, you can always check, is it worth anything, and you can try to sell it. In my opinion, spears with accuracy useful only by huntresses, and it's not really sellable, it's hard to sell. As you can see, most of spears is on the trade for 10 days, basically for full leak, no one buying them. So it's a lot better to just have fun and try to craft something cool of it. What we can craft is basically dropping essence on top and hope we remove something like lightning damage, and we will get extra damage as different damage type. If we remove this lightning damage, then we hit something insanely good. We removed elemental damage with attacks, still removing this elemental damage with attacks gives us even better damage right now, so it's fine. Let's try to do the same on this, and we removed added physical damage. So this one is actually 73k right now, not bad, not bad. It's pretty good spears overall. Adding perfect essence of battle will make them even better. And again, we get really high chance to do it and not remove critical damage bonus. However, I will focus on the crafts that actually give me insane bonus damage, so it's 90k. And what we can do with this awesome weapon? Actually nothing, it's already like perfect, so we will add runes to it and it will be even more perfect. And same for this, but we still got one weapon left. This one got 0 modifiers right now, and still we can make it insanely overpowered. To it, however, we need fracturing orb, and I don't have one right now, so I will leave it over here. And if you're interested to see how this craft will be finished, and maybe it will be like godlike mirror tier weapon, make sure to leave a comment, so I will get currency and finish this craft faster. And don't forget to subscribe. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the spears, and I will finalize it with gain extra damage as all elemental damage types to upgrade my damage to 100k on Glacial Lance and 100k on Twister almost, which is pretty good, pretty nice upgrade. Funnily enough, it's really hard to tell which one is better, because this one got increased damage against enemies who is far away from us, and it is not calculated on the tooltip. But that's basically it for weapons for now. And we can go into our last slot, which is a ring. Yeah. So for rings, again, it's kinda the same stuff. We can actually force it with different omens to get nice desecration. The decorations that we can get is completely different. On top part it's mostly for mages, but on the right part it's different stats, it's nice mixed resistances like fire and chaos at the same time, so it's pretty good. Therefore, when you're crafting rings, you want to start with something that you will like. For example, you want to fix the resistances, then start with resistances and another modificator like increased evasion rating, which is also good for our build to have better protection. Then when adding essence, it can be extra resistance or it can be maximum life. Essence for life is really good on rings and amulets, because it will add 100 maximum life, like almost 100, and it's like tier 2 mod. But when you add this on your body armor, it's like tier 5 mod. Definitely never use it on your body armors. What I used on this ring is Essence of Opulence, which gave me a rarity, and then I used one Exalted Orb to give me this maximum life. It was random, of course. But we can actually force loads of nice mods on these rings, depending on what you actually want. And it is done by allocating correct tags. So tags will be over here, you see them on the side, and that's how it works. If you got one resistance, it for example fire resistance, then there is only one another modifier with fire tag. It's 2 all elemental resistances. With perfect Exalted Orb you will hit at least tier 2 or tier 1. And if you still don't understand what I mean, basically, as I told you, you can't have same mod. For example, if you already got fire resistance, you can't roll another fire resistance, and therefore if we try to force fire modificator, it will roll only elemental resistances. So that's basically how you can pretty much deterministically get any type of all elemental resistance on your ring, or any other type of elemental resistance. It is achieved by using bridge currency and also this omen of catalyzing exaltation. While this item is active in your inventory, your next Exalted Orb will consume all quality to increase chance of corresponding type of modifier. So now we need to use Zov Catalyst, which will increase our fire modifier, and we can have maximum of 40 on bridge rings, we can have like 20 on normal rings, but even if you use it, it's still not guaranteed. That's why rings are so expensive if they are really good. I will just randomly try it with 13 quality, I don't have more catalysts right now. But don't forget to use correct omens for your Exalted Orb. Yes, we will use Greater Exalted Orb, but we need to make sure we're dropping it in suffix. So we will use Dextral Exaltation right now, because if we're not using Dextral Exaltation, it can drop in prefix. And what fire modifiers is in prefix? It's fire damage to attacks, which is okay. So technically we don't care if it roll fire damage to attacks, it's also fine. But of course we're hunting for our all resistances. And then we can do basically the same stuff with attack modifiers and try to hunt something like physical damage to attacks. Because yeah, let's not forget, if you're using fire, it can actually roll increased fire damage. And this ring will be bricked. So let's just see, and we hit lightning resistance. As I told you, it's only a chance we should hit all elemental resistance with this omen, but it's pretty random. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it don't, and it doesn't matter if you got 40 quality or just 10. In reality, just a little bit of your chance. I will finish this craft by slamming Exalted Orb, getting chaos damage, and it's kinda weird, but I guess it's fine. If you don't like top part, there's one essence we can use on rings. It will give you maximum mana. So technically we can try to hit this maximum mana, or we can keep it like this. In my opinion, maximum mana is useless on this type of ring, and therefore we will try to sell it. And yeah, we're selling loads of stuff. Loads of crafts, loads of bridge rings, loads of waste stones, of course. If you enjoyed this crafting session and you will try crafting for yourself, you also can check out my Huntress build, which is really funny, and you probably will enjoy how she throws twisters all over the field. See you in the next videos.